What's up, what's up? We're the FREESTYLE on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm Ralphie Rotten, also known as DJ Noise. My right-hand man, Billy the Kid. And we're going to have a guest on tonight. Unfortunately, they forgot that we had a show tonight. They forgot our whole entire night was changed. But, you know, it's fine. It works out because I got something. I mean, I think I can officially talk about this. Shout out to my boy Joe, Trish, and Greg. Thank you guys for watching. So everybody knows the whole journey, the whole thing that I've been working on, stretching back to June. When I was talking about having Columbus statue removed from Columbus Park. Well, you know, once you get the statue removed, you know, and you piss off a whole entire group of people, not intentionally, I just wanted to positively educate people, and I wasn't intentionally trying to piss everybody off. And tomorrow they're gonna have a resolution for the name change of the park. But where do I go after protesting, voicing, educating, from being influential and helping in that? Well, I started working on a project with a group of people, and shout out to those group of people, and very influential, just giving me, slight tips, some advice. You all know who you are. Even down to my wife. My wife said, "Hey, you're doing something. You gotta scale yourself down. You gotta make yourself appealing." So, of course, a lot of people, So last night, I called in and sat in with the Hamilton Council board. They were running ordinances. They were, I sat for almost a whole two-hour session. And I got to deliver my speech in my attempt to get Indigenous Peoples Day recognized in an official proclamation in Hamilton. So that's huge because Princeton last year did it. Trenton hasn't done it. So, I urge whoever is in Trenton, whoever is listening in Trenton now, maybe you may want to piggyback on that, and just give me a shout out when you accomplish it, and say, hey, that Ralph helped me influence it. So, like I said, I'm not here for views. I'm not here for likes pages. I'm not here for money because I don't get paid for this. I do this because I'm sincere about my mission. For the last couple months, you can see I've been shifting through different things on how to say things, how to better send my message and voice my opinion. So I've, Billy here, was one of the first to tell me, you're going from here, you're driving on the road, but you're going up here now, and it's either you embrace it or you're just gonna keep driving. And I took it like like salt going onto my wound because I wasn't quite ready. When you get backlash, you get in the community disapproving and going, just not agreeing with you in so many different ways, so many different topics I've been so, voicing my opinion about. Remember, we helped drop John Henry's issue on air on Facebook live, and of course I didn't organize protests, but it's things started to happen, and I've found my purpose. I not that I didn't know my purpose in having kids, having a wife, living, doing the right things. But I'm talking about a deeper sense of purpose, a real purpose where I can help facilitate change in my community as well as others. I also reached out to the governor and asked him for the same thing. I'm not running around my head cut off, like a chicken with his head cut off. I'm trying to physically make this happen. I started engaging my town first because of the fact that, it's my hometown. And if my hometown can recognize it, then eventually the whole state can. That's the mission. Everybody's got a day. Everybody's got some time. Why can't the indigenous peoples, my ancestors, everybody else, if you're South American, you might have indigenous people, indigenous DNA. If you're from the Caribbean, you might have indigenous DNA. If you're from America and you're, indigenous, yeah, of course. So it doesn't just cover, one body of people. It covers a lot. And we can do so much on that day. We can give lectures. We don't necessarily have, we can do parades. We can educate people on the people that were here before colonialism, before the United States, because that's real history. And the indigenous people were here 10,000 years before Columbus. So when we say he didn't discover anything that was already here, it's facts. So also for people that know, I did my DNA, as you can see, and I am indigenous, Spaniard, Portuguese, African, and Jewish. And that's what makes up what I am, Puerto Rican. My history is rich. I'm proud. And, it gives me the backing to the speeches that I have. I have about 2 speeches here written 2 different ways. So it's real shit. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for monetary reasons. I'm doing this to leave my mark on history. Create real change. How do you do it? We can't keep protesting and letting people say, "Hey, I'm sorry, but this is going to happen again and again and again." We have to engage our government. We have to talk to them. We have to put the concerns in their ear. By the way, Hamilton passed ordinance or resolution to add more body cams, to update their systems. I also heard of the Bromley section is also going to be revitalized. So and they're going to hire for people from the neighborhood. So a lot of good things happened last night on that council meeting. It was refreshing to get something positive. The Hamilton Fire Company has merged completely under one body. So that's been happening for many years. There's a landfill near. There's an old landfill, tire landfill, I guess, near the West State. The tracks out there behind the the creeks and the canal. They're gonna revitalize that, and they're gonna create a solar field. So Hamilton's moving in a direction that I feel that is for the best, and I'm excited. I'm excited not only for what I'm doing, but for the council, what they're doing. That's for all council meetings to sit in. I got to sit on that one. People are calling and engaging. People are concerned about the neighborhoods, or how they look. It was just amazing. It was amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I will continue to engage the council. I will continue to engage and be on the council meetings. If I can be there, virtually or physically, one way or the other, I'm gonna try to be there. They appreciate it. They said it's great to hear different faces. with different ideas. So it was great. It was great. I'm glad that I can be the start and plant the seed to create change. How was your weekend, brother?
Cool, man. Mellow. Real mellow, man. It ain't a lot going on. What more, could you do?
I mean, my weekend, obviously, my weekend was chill.
Yeah.
But it was productive. It was my weekend. I grind every day. Shout out to
survive to make it
Mike. Shout out to Sam, Jessica, Ann. What's up, Nick Kakaritas? Shout out to you. I see Nick on the book all the time. He's commenting on different things. It's sad that my Eagles lost, the Giants lost, and the Cowboys lost. So, and the team with no name is in first place. Who would have thought? And that's a team that's under big scrutiny and big scandal right now.
Man, just because the team ain't got no name don't mean that
listen,
they get beat by a team with no name.
They're a team with no identity. You know what I'm saying? Trying to carve out, recarve their place. Who knows? This team could be sold next year. That's why there's no name. That's why there's no name right now. Also, you have a shout out to my boy Tarek. He's from La Luci Pizza. Obviously, great pizza. I go there when I can. I go there. I constantly try to support local businesses. I'm going to be bringing more local businesses on. Next week we got a band coming on here. Yes, we got a band. We got almost a full-on band. So it's gonna be cool to interview, a band, from the local area. But my weekend was chill. Just gonna keep it brief. When you get some kind of good news, the bad news comes in and says, well, I'm gonna see your good news and raise you more bad news. It always is like that. But what I'm learning is you can't let that break you down. You can't let that knock you down. You just got to dust that shit off and just get back up and just keep marching. Keep. God's giving me my marching orders, and I'm continuing my march. I'm continuing the marathon. As Nipsey Hussle would say.
Right.
I just want to be a part of, of something big, and I think that I'm living it. I'm being that embodiment, seeing that whole, I'm embracing that,
No. Cardio actually
Hey, can we
burns
talk?
calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then replaced
Okay,
with the
okay.
very next meal that you
Hey,
eat.
Ruben, can you take out the thanks, appreciate it. I didn't want to compete with Mr. Cardio guy over there, but my son turns 2 this Saturday.
Thanks to Ralphie Jr., man, for sending me a happy birthday too. That was
Right.
heartfelt.
And you see the video? You see the video I posted today?
No, bro, I really ain't on Facebook.
You may want to check it out. I got a little, a little bullhorn, and my son he was under my care today, and he took the bullhorn. I gave him the bullhorn, and I said, "I can change the world," and recorded it. And he said, "I can change the world in his own way." So I'm trying to plant the seed in him early.
Hey, what's major about that is I really ain't on Facebook as much. I'm definitely not active. Like I'll peek.
No,
and I'll scroll.
you pick and choose who to engage with.
Hey, nah, but, when I went on though, and I got tagged, and I seen the little video with Ralphie Jr. That was
something
major.
out.
That was major. You understand?
I mean, he's having. Yes, sir. It's
Hey, man, Nick already know. Nick know, man. Man, and we go back.
we all go back.
Yeah,
we all go back.
Nah, I believe we stayed on like the same street. He just stayed up the other end. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not
Linwood.
Yeah, like it's not like a person like who I don't know. That, like, even if I don't know a person and like we had disagreement, whatever. Like I done got friends off of Facebook because of a disagreement, and we became friends, all because somebody else or other people didn't know how to take them. You understand? So, like, yeah, like we get it. Like he get it. You know, like we're not reading too deep into the politics. Like more than anything, you know, like we men.
If you notice, I haven't put political shit anymore because I'm just tired of debate.
I don't let it separate me because, like,
yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, we men, you know, our women, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't let that stuff, you know, get the best of you. Like, we could agree to this. My thing is, we could agree to disagree, and I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine. Like, you know what?
I'm friends with a lot of people. I have friends with a lot of people that disagree with me.
My views are mine. We not gonna say.
And I agree with them, and you know, the same thing.
Look,
I don't agree with some of their things, and you know, but that's what makes us. That's what makes us the democracy that we live in, that we call the United States. You know, listen, our founding fathers never painted. They didn't paint a perfect picture. They knew we were gonna have flaws. That's the reason why they adopted, you know, the democracy principles that the Iroquois Confederacy used. Google it, YouTube that. Facts. The United States government had no foundation to use, you know, laws and bylaws and, you know, constitutions, and they looked at the Iroquois Confederacy that was made up different nations and were under different laws, and the United States adopted some of those laws and some of those wordings, some of those, you know, and interpreted and created their own history. It's history, real history, educated history. Let me tell you, you would be surprised to know, you know, and so I mean, it's amazing, you know. It's just amazing that I'm able to drop that knowledge, that jewel right there, you know. I mean, but back to my son turning 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a milestone.
Yeah.
You know, he's now talking.
He's coming along good, right? Exactly. I was about to say that. He's coming along good. The boy saying me happy birthday, and I just happened to go on Facebook. You know, and I'm checking the notifications, and you know, here's the video. So that was major. That was heartfelt. Other than that, it was sincere. It was sincere. Right after that, I put Facebook right back up. Like I'm good.
It was sincere. You know, and you know, we kind of used that video. You know, you were one of the first, or maybe one of the first or second.
I appreciate
that we use that video now. You know, instead of saying happy birthday, we kind of give everybody the personal happy birthday here, you know, like, and it's a great video.
I showed my mom and all of them. I'm like, look at him, check him out. Like,
and you know,
barely putting words together, but he put that together.
I mean, and now he's
did he give me a gift in that video?
He gave you a Care Bear.
I wasn't sure what the ending was, but I was like,
he's like, here, he gave you a Care Bear.
Hey man.
And you know, it was his sign of saying, I'm giving you love.
That put the
caring,
smile. That put the smile. You know.
So
it ain't too many times Facebook could do that. Facebook don't actually put a smile.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and we, me and the wife, you know, we're proud because, you know, we're trying to put out positive. You know, you see I don't know if you got to see my daughter, what she wrote about, you know, Black lives, the pandemic. You know, that's huge. She's gonna be 12, and you know, she's already voicing her opinions. And listen, my shoes are very hard to fill, but they're already on my coattails, you know, following my steps. You know, my son constantly goes in my sneakers, and the wife is always like, you know, he's trying to fill your shoes, you know.
Literally.
And shout out to my boy Jason. Shout out to Tony Marie. You know, I'm proud of my kids. You know, they're not perfect and they got flaws, but
don't be
they are
those those neglectful parents. I'm gonna keep. I ain't gonna put no names out there, man. But it's like, you know, some kids, you know, our parents like already getting in trouble with the school thing because they smoking all in the background and drinking and this, that, and the third. Like, you know, don't be that.
No, I can't. You know, I want my kids to be a better version of me. You know, I'm not saying that I did that. You know, I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying I was a perfect angel. You know, in my beginning of my life. You know, but I've been through some trials and tribulations. You know, I'm a product. I was a product of my upbringing. I was a product of where I was at and my surroundings. You know, like I was only trying to adapt to what was going on around me. You know,
Sure.
Again, my mom, you know, went away. My father wasn't there. You know, I really had no Yes, I had family, but you know, some of the family I didn't feel had the best interest.
Yeah, call it what it is. Yeah.
You know, yes, and my family knows I love them. I'm out of my family. I'm one of the most outspoken. Sometimes I feel that I don't get invited to certain things because they're not ready to hear me and how I keep it real. You know, it doesn't remove any, you know, love lost, but you know, I've been through a lot. Excuse me. I've been through a lot, and to show what I'm doing now, like who I've become, what I'm going to become. You know, it's powerful. It's powerful, 1,000%. You know, it's not every day. You know, you live a life, and you know you get thrown into jail for nothing. For actually nothing you've done. All you got thrown in jail for was because you're not white. Real talk. Like it was one of those Bob's, you know, or Steve, you know, calling the cops and pretending that we hit him. That really literally happened. Literally happens. And, you know, Hamilton police picked us up and threw us in jails without knowing nothing. You know?
That take a long time to get out of too. That legal system. Like
Well,
once you're in that system, like trouble easy to get in, but it's hard to get out, bro.
It took me almost 2 years to clear my name.
That sound about right.
I've spoke about this multiple times. You know,
that system is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like, look, you can say what you want about cops. You can say what you want about all of that's like all of them. But that judicial system, bro, like when it ain't fair,
it's like a skin tag.
It's like when
Once
it's,
you tug,
when it's not fair, it's not fair.
Yeah.
But even just if you in that, it take everything, like all your money, all your resources, everything, just to get to a point of zero. Like I spent years of my life paying, trying to avoid all of that. I was so happy once I got to zero. I ain't have nothing, but I was out of the system. I was no longer in a system. Like, so I know that firsthand.
Real quick,
Like,
shout out to.
That's the first time I was ever cool with
Shout out
being broke.
to Nick. Much love to you, brother.
That's the first time I was ever cool with being broke. Like when I paid all them legal fees and them tickets and them fines, like all that.
I've been there.
Like, yo, like miss a court date just because you couldn't make it, that automatically turned into a warrant. You know what I'm saying? Like you missed that warrant, like, and they automatically looking for you. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a revolving door that, like, and you have to stay on top of that stuff, man. Like you'll find yourself in there, and you really didn't even do nothing just because you couldn't keep up with the fees, court dates.
Yeah, when I
mess around and move, and you don't change your address in time.
When I went in front of the judge, I won my case with 2 lawyers. Not one, but 2 lawyers. And they both didn't know.
Costs money.
They both didn't know they were both going to be representing me. I worked the whole entire summer, and all my extra money, I stayed with like $40, $50, and all that extra money I sweated the whole summer. I gave it to my mom to hold, so I can physically hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I had the public defender, so I used, you know, Belmont and Antonio Martinez. Those 2 lawyers, they looked at each other. Oh, we're gonna do this together, and I was like, yep. And I said, and we're gonna beat this together today.
Bro, that's depressing. Think about it, bro.
And
that's taking me back.
And let me tell you, and I won, and I walked out of there. That was one of my second chances. That was, you know, because I knew I didn't do nothing. I really didn't do nothing.
I beat mine too. But I had a couple that came like back.
Yeah,
back
I mean,
back
I had, you know, I'm not saying that I was completely innocent, but most of the times I was.
Bruh.
You know, and you know, you could only do but so much until you're like, you know what? They already think I am this or I'm doing this. You know, I wasn't out there doing wrong. You know, I was always this person. Just my voice wasn't heard. You know, I was misunderstood. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, I was innocent completely. But most of the times, my intentions were great.
That's why they have bagged you. It's the little stuff like them certain cops had their eye on you, so automatically like you troublemaker. You know what I mean? For the simple fact, like you know that you wasn't perfect, and you know that you dibble dabble here and there. They see all of that. Like especially like once you stay like in an in particular neighborhood, them cops do a shift.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they familiar with the ones that hang out in front of the store every day.
And
Yo, listen, if you think they not paying attention,
oh yeah,
bro, they know exactly.
And the crazy thing is, sometimes I would bait them. I would bait them for the hell of it. I would say, all right, let's act like we're doing something crazy. You know, one time, and the cop, I'm not gonna name his name, but if you're watching this and you ever get to watch this, you'll feel like I was at a park, and I had a deck of cards, and we pretended we were gambling. We were about to gamble. I was with some brothers, and they're like, "What are you doing at this park?" I said, "We're just chilling, playing cards. Why?" And we just baited them on purpose, just to prove that who we are, or the color of our skin, will draw that. Because if it hadn't been, they would never have stopped. And it's crazy when you and we're going back at least 10, 12 years, 13 years. So you see,
I don't plan on going back to none of that shit again.
But we weren't doing nothing bad. We just chilling. We're just talking at the park. That's it. But I was like, let's he wants to work. Let's make him think he's working. You know what I'm saying? So we weren't intentionally trying to create trouble. Like it was always when 9/11 happened, I was out there, trying to raise money to give them, to help. I went to Washington D.C. My aunt was influential to taking me down to Washington D.C. and I was there for the plebiscite in 1998. To have Puerto Rico either become a state, independent, or leave it how it is. So I've been always, involved. I was always, looking up to certain politicians. Say, hey, can I take a picture with you or shake? I was a kid. And when these guys would come by in these suits, they didn't look like me. They looked a little bit more bigger than who they were. And I said, can I shake your hand? Can I meet you? Can I get your autograph? I was a kid. I didn't know if they were going to be a good guy or a bad guy, but all I knew that they were going to try to change the town. You know what I'm saying? They were going to try to make things better. That's what I perceived always, but I'm glad that I have proven that I am bigger than my person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I drop it, educate. I'm constantly trying to educate people. Yeah, I got memes that I got memes for days that but right now I don't want to confuse anybody who's looking at my page and saying, "Oh, this guy's he's a clown, he's crazy." Even though I am crazy in a good way, but I don't want anybody to misunderstand my goal, my mission, my voice. I posted the other day, I wake up thinking every day that I can change the world. And it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make you want to change, make you want to do better.
Exactly. It makes me work harder. It makes me want to try harder. It makes me.
You found your purpose. That's the purpose. Like, that's the stuff that got you on on the path. So you ain't got time to get sidetracked or worried about he said. Definitely not the he said, she
I'm
said
constantly
stuff.
looking. Listen, I'm constantly looking for a job and constantly like reading
Too busy.
and
being
constantly
bullshit.
trying to, okay, what can I do next?
Yeah, then you taking
You know?
care of family, like in your household. You know what I'm saying? Like I be having to explain that to people. They like, man, I ain't see you in a minute, man. Like, why don't we hang? This is that and the third. Like, bro, like you know, I'm got a family and kids, and like all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that to me take planning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you still single and freelance and no kids, no none of that stuff, bro. I gotta actually plan a date, and even by the time that date come, I don't even feel like going out by that time.
Sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I went out last night after a 2-hour council meeting. I went out, you know, to a couple places. I ended up getting on the mic and doing karaoke. One song I haven't done in like
Yeah.
12 years. No one, yeah, almost 8 years. We'll say 8 years.
Whitney Houston, I always love you.
No, it wasn't that. Some of y'all know one of the couple songs that I always do karaoke to. Second, I went to another location where a good friend of mine, I hung out there with
Man,
a
what
couple
did you
friends.
sing? Let's get to that.
I sung Three Doors Down by Kryptonite by Three Doors Down.
I ain't trying to play it. I'm like, all right, I just wanted to see what your preference was.
And I still had it. You know, it was you know, my throat hurt a little. It was because I haven't used those vocal cords like that in a while.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If I did karaoke, what you think?
Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Matthew.
What you think would probably be the first song that I pick to do?
Probably a Wu-Tang song.
A Wu-Tang song?
Yeah.
Yo, you know, yo, just to mess your head.
Or
up.
Nas
Hey,
song.
listen, I'm gonna keep it real because like I haven't hit a karaoke, but I mess everybody's head up. You know what I pick?
But
I mess around and pick like some Nickelback, bro.
well, I mean,
Or some,
yeah,
like,
listen,
Maroon 5.
if
Hey, yo,
you
keep thinking that
if-
brothers don't know them country songs, man.
Well, absolutely.
You are totally wrong. Listen, I know some country songs, man. Like word
you
for word.
do know that there is a country singer that is black, and
Lil Nas X?
he's he doesn't
he like no.
he doesn't count. We're talking about a real I mean
Hey, look.
a real artist,
Yeah.
not taken away
Hey,
from
nah, I-
him.
nah, I could
I'm
imagine.
talking about Darius Rucker.
I could
If you know who Darius Rucker is, he was one of the most influential members of Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie and the Blowfish, I mean, they're legends.
Yeah.
And he wrote a lot of their tracks. So, once Hootie and the Blowfish stopped doing their thing, he went over to do a lot of country music. And he's up this way because I think his wife is either from New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Real shit. Google that.
Hey, yo, I be messing.
So I'm a
people head
Darius
up,
Rucker
bruh.
fan.
Yo,
I like his music.
Like, I'll be shopping or something, and like I like actually know the words to like some like Maroon 5, like oh my god, like honey, like this black dude over here, like he knows all of Maroon 5.
Well, I mean,
yo, yeah, like I'm in a bunch of different types.
Why is it not okay for you to listen to country
Nah,
music?
I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
see-
saying,
you
I'm
got-
not saying that it ain't. I just don't look that.
You got
like,
Machine Gun Kelly. That's a rapper. That's not black.
and pop, because he did his thing
Well-
at the VMAs. He went straight pop. He went pop. but
Well, I
look,
heard he. You see, I don't know if you got to see. I posted. He looked like a golden girl. real. And it didn't take long for that to
Nah,
manifest. The
memes
meme
went
of the
crazy.
golden
The
girl came
memes-
up like.
the memes went ballistic on him, man. But hey, I still gotta give it up to him, man, because he actually had the guts to actually call. He the only person that really got a response from Eminem when it came down like a battle. Like, MB too busy for a lot of that stuff. When he gave him the time of day, like I kind of sat up in my chair because it's like, okay, these are the moments we live for inside the hip hop industry.
Yeah, but Eminem slayed him like I use the word slay because.
So what? He attempted. He attempted. That's all that
he
matters.
slayed him like
I
you
give
know
him-
you know when
I
you
give
know
him
when it,
tremendous respect.
you know when that knight comes out and fights the dragon, and
David and Goliath or something.
David and Goliath, even though David Eminem was not
it's like
the
Goliath
little guy.
beat. Yeah, like,
It was just he took that monster and just like I'm sorry, bro. And he cut him up. He cut up his wordplay and how he the styles that he kept on changing, throwing them at him. He just went.
that meant something though, like just for him to respond, like, oh wow, somebody taking a shot. Like, how many people done took shots at him and he just didn't respond, but it just made him focus on this one in particular. And I gave him mad credit,
But
just,
it also-
just for attempting.
It also let people understand that M No matter how old he gets, M still got it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
everybody.
He gave the up and comer a shot.
Everybody always categorizes him, you know, as this, that, you know. But M is in a lane all by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know how he came out with the first, you know, talking about everybody dropping. He ate everybody alive. Like, you know, like he was just destroying everybody. You know, talking about anybody and everybody. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And then he got political, then he got deeper, then he got real, you know, then he got, you know, he went through a lot of different phases of his whole entire like persona. You know, but now he's like he's more laid back, retired kind of.
Yeah,
You know.
and I respect that response, man, because at the end of the day, you still got that admiration for him. Like, I'm not going to be one of the ones that's like, oh, he fell off or he ain't the best. Listen. If a person has worked up to a legend, let them be great. Get them they
I
flowers.
mean, he
while
doesn't even need to, you know, he's already a legend. He doesn't even need, I mean, the 20 years, he came out 22 years ago. 22 years ago, 23 years
he
ago.
needed to feel any older.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
23 years ago, he came out with this. My name is Slam Shady. You know, and at first everybody's like, "Who is this clown? This guy's crazy." You know, but
I knew.
He
I was up on him from the mixtape.
he made his he made his grind. He made his bones, and you know, he's today 23 years later. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still a legend."
Listen, all the legends, man. Like you got to get them they flowers. Like why they still here. See, like hip hop is different because it's controversial. Like we could beef and battle any given day. Like Smokey Robinson never battled the OJs. The Temptations never tried to diss.
Well, Rick
Spinners.
James always just battled everybody.
He ain't care. He was
Like
high in the studio.
yo couch.
Facts.
like-
yo, some of the people, sadly, man, that use drugs make the best material. That's the crazy part. Jimi Hendrix, best music. Like Rick
And-
James, best music.
Hands down, Jimi Hendrix, in my opinion, is one of the greatest
Legend.
guitarists to have ever.
But when he did
So
that,
ever played.
when he did that Star Spangled Banner on that electric guitar, I've never heard
The
nothing like
second,
that
the
since.
second best guitarist in my opinion is, hands down, Santana. Santana was a nobody, a nobody that got up on that stage at Woodstock and lit that stage on fire. Let me tell you. After that,
That's
they're
another
like,
legend.
"Who is that?"
Gotta say it. That's another legend.
You know what I'm saying? So I recognize those who are the greats and who are the legends. You know, don't think just because I'm a house head, you know, I listen to rap, I listen to little house and dance.
Especially if they
That I don't
still
know the lanes. I don't know. Listen, I listen to country. I listen to lounge. You know, last night I was listening to Sam Cooke. A Change Gonna Come. You know, you know, the other day I was listening to country. You know, yesterday today I was listening to rap. You know, and house and dance. You know, so I'm constantly, you know, changing, you know, the playlist in my car.
Sure, same here, man. Like, ain't no shame in my game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mess around and know the lyrics to like some Jessica Simpson. I'd be like, what? Like, bro, you wildin'. Like, yo,
I mean, but everybody knows a little bit of
hey, man,
everything,
listen.
you know.
Hey, listen. If we got a catchy beat and like the lyrics, like I hear it enough, you know, yeah, then I done caught on to it, man. But at the same time, man, like, listen, like, a personal legend, man, get them their flowers, like, why they still here, man. Like I just be thinking, like, yo, like Stevie Wonder still with us. You know what I'm saying? Like the Patti LaBelle's, like them heavy.
We
like, them
just
industry
lost.
people.
It's crazy you say it. We just lost recently Tom Seaver, and we lost Lou Brock. People don't know, well, who's Tom Seaver. If you're not a baseball fan, you know, you're not gonna know. You know, Tom Seaver was one of the greatest Mets pitchers to have ever, you know, lived. You know what? You know, also one of the greatest Reds pitchers because he was traded to the Reds. Lou Brock was one of the, you know, before Ricky Henderson was a stolen base king. You know, Sweet Lou was that guy of the times. You know what I'm saying? They call him Sweet Lou Brock because his swing and his run was like, he was just graceful. You know, so we lost those two in 3 weeks. In a span of like 3 weeks. So this month, I guess.
That's why them legends, yeah, you gotta give them their flowers. Why they still here? Like I'm not one of the ones that's like, oh, such fell off because like that. Yo, a lot of people be wrong about that. When them people be like such fell off or this is that and the third. Like when you Google them on like Forbes, like all that stuff. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like before Prince had passed, before he passed, it was like he started trying to come back with stuff. So I'm thinking, I'm like, ain't nobody really checking for Prince. I wound up looking up his net worth. He was like worth 200 million.
Well, Prince was always, he was never trying to come back. Prince owned his lane.
That was my fault. That was my fault. Totally.
He owned his own lane. Prince, Prince wasn't really trying. Prince was a genius when it came to music. Right. He wasn't making music because people were paying him more to make music for them.
Stupid still to this day.
Producing.
I feel real stupid.
He wrote. I mean, some of the music that you hear on the radio, from the last 20 years.
His catalog.
He wrote a lot. Crazy. He owned a lot of his masters. He owned.
I heard Jay-Z just bought it too. I think Jay-Z.
I don't know if he did or not.
But, yeah, I feel dumb. Like I feel like that was like the last person that I had that mentality, and I wasn't even downplaying or dissing. Like I wasn't hardly saying that Prince fell off. I wasn't hardly
Same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, everybody, there's a whole bunch of scandal controversy around Michael, but see, the media made up a lot of that. A lot of that was made up because he was really, really outspoken, and at the time,
Michael had a huge share of Sony.
He owned a lot of he owned a lot of people's catalog, a lot of music. He was number 2, number 3 Sony executive. And when
do you understand what type of money that is?
He's just getting royalties. He was getting royalties. I mean, his his estate was left to his kids, and hopefully his kids,
they got bigger even after.
Become bigger than him, or try to become something close. Like Michael Jordan's kids. Michael Jordan's probably one of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we know they're his legends, but his kids, all got they all try to follow in their own lanes, but they were never a Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So it's
that's an enigma right there that you just really can't figure out. Like everybody who's the next this, like who's the next that. Like a lot of people compare Kobe to like Jordan, whatever.
Well, I mean, the only reason why people compare Kobe to Jordan is because Kobe came in at a time where Jordan was at his prime. Like realistically, he was slowly leaving his prime, and Kobe, said,
like that new breath of fresh air.
He was like, Kobe said, "I'm gonna be better than you."
Kobe lived up to the hype. You understand me? He did.
Straight up, Kobe. Shout to Ashley. If I didn't, shout to Mike.
He never switched up on them Lakers, bruh.
But listen, Kobe came in straight face, confident, and just bumped him and said, "I know you're the legend, but I'm here now.
He got busy.
I'm gonna be a legend too." And they shared the same number. Right?
No. Kobe was
24.
Yeah.
They almost, I think it was a reason why he chose that number because he didn't want to be.
Facts.
He wanted to be after.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can Google that.
It was something behind that. My guy was Iverson though, and I'll never forget where he made Jordan stumble with that killer crossover.
Well, see, Iverson was another one that wasn't even meant to be there, but he went through a lot in his college. He was going to be drafted in football, and he had an issue, and his mom went to Georgetown, right? Georgetown.
I don't even know.
Was it Georgetown?
Yeah, don't get me to line. I'm just mad how
I think it was Georgetown.
How the media played him though, man. Like they used to downplay him because he had the cornrows and tattoos. Look at the NBA now. What do you see? Cornrows.
But
tattoos,
see, he
blonde hair, pink hair, mohawks.
But him and Dennis Rodman, and the bad boys of basketball paved the ways for people to be themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, and that was a bold statement for them, back then. A lot of people didn't.
Well, I mean, it's a bold. I mean, I don't know. We might piss a lot of people off with this one. I think, however you may look at it, I think it's a bold statement on how our sports are standing up in unison against, injustice. People are like, oh, they're protesting. Well, they're protesting peacefully at a football game, at a basketball game, at a.
I mean, yeah, because a lot of people starting to get it now.
So-
Like Kaepernick's kneeling was never about disrespecting
Exactly.
the military. Over and over. Agent Orange made it that rhetoric.
And the thing is, no, when is it okay to protest injustice? That's my whole thing. You can't protest peacefully during sports, and they say, well, you shouldn't do it doing this, doing that. And then you go out in the streets and protest peacefully, and they're like, well, that's not good enough. So then people riot because they're pissed because, they can't, and I'm not trying to make this whole last couple minutes political. I'm just saying, because I believe Black lives do matter, but I don't believe in such of the movement as a whole because of so many insurgents from different parts of the country being put in. Like the true meaning of Black Lives Matter, I do believe in. I do believe that Black Lives Matter. Hands down. Shout out to Breonna Taylor's family. They just got, I think, $13 million settlement. And it doesn't stop there. I think it's followed by police reform in that town, in the state. Also, now the police have to live in the city in order for them to become cops in that city. So they have to be in that city, and they gotta live. They gotta live with everybody out there. So,
It's a lot.
It's sad that
You gotta go into that.
it's sad that had to happen.
And that's where we at now, and that's the momentum that it's gained. So you can't just blame all of this on Black Lives Matter or defunding police or this,
No.
and the third. Because it's
I don't believe that.
It's a whole different chain of events that made all of this into existence. Like the problem has been there. It's
Yeah.
just being recorded now. It's being recorded. It's
Shout out
being
to Eric.
recorded, all of that. So everybody gonna have their
Shout out
own
to Kelly.
different views. It's gonna be so many different views.
And I don't believe in
All of that.
defunding the police. I just believe in retooling the police.
My thing is, as long as like there's like a video like where you clearly see that it's an issue, it's a problem, you're gonna get those type of responses. I mean, granted, you got something that you could actually argue, like, well, no, he went back to the car and he was reaching for this and that's what happened. So it's gonna be like a agree to disagree. But like when you got your like Breonna Taylor's, like Elijah McClain's,
Those are the two that
your Mike,
those are the two that I still scratch my head about.
like your Mike Brown's, where he's running away and gets shot in the back, but the police report says that he was charging him. Like, it's all contradiction. Then when you got audio of actual police saying, I hope a civil
Ahmaud
war
Arbery.
starts. I just
Ahmaud
bought.
Arbery.
Did you hear the
Just
audio
simply
though,
running.
with them 6 cops that said, I hope a civil war starts. I just bought an AR-15. We're just going to start slaughtering N-words.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that scares me.
That was
because
outside of Atlanta.
These are the ones that's ice grilling. These are the ones that's circling back around the block, like when you just like sitting in front of your house and like all of that other stuff. Those are the ones that start off writing you a ticket, but dare you to say something. Like go
or
ahead,
like
make my day.
the recent, I don't know, the recent video that's been surfacing around the gentleman that was an Uber driver and refused to give an ID, and they beat the crap out of him. They suffocated him. I don't know if he died, but Tony Crump posted that, shared that.
Yeah, it's like when you see the videos, there's so much more that could have been done. It was like 5 of y'all. It's only one of him. Y'all got tasers. Y'all got batons, but somehow
I just to
this
leave
person ended up
it at, because we're gonna go. We just got to do better, as a whole.
That's the message.
We just got to do better, and we can't defund this, we can't defund that. At the end of the day, we all still need each other. We still all need each other, and we all still matter.
My message is that it's not black and white, so we can get that. We can get that
Exactly.
all out the way right there.
It's
not black and white.
it's all but
politics do got a lot to play with.
Yeah,
this.
it's all done by design to keep us separated.
You gotta be smart.
Look at the picture that was painted. We were given a pandemic. Of course, Black Lives Matter. We were
He said fat lives matter.
we were given a pandemic, and before we
right
can
on time.
all come together and join together and stand up for what was going on, they throw in a wrench and say, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you all apart," and then you're already breaking down the social ethics of humans. You can't go out. You're quarantined. We're still living this. We're still living this. And my prayers to all those have been lost. Recently. Every other day I see we've lost somebody. My prayers go out to all those families of those who've lost. My condolences to Jimmy's family. A friend of mine that we went to school. I think we all went to school together with. Lost his life. I'm just. When is it all gonna end? When are we all gonna? I don't want us to find our purpose when it's the end. You know what I'm saying?
All I know is don't live scared.
Yeah, live. Don't live scared, but live life like it's your last day.
Don't live under the guidelines.
Live it to the fullest. Shout out to Tom.
Know the difference.
What's your last? What's your
My message.
your message, bro?
All right. Well, first and foremost, man, shout out to you, shout out to Hamilton Radio, shout out to all of my family and friends, and shout out to everybody that tuned in. If I could leave with one message, man, to everybody that used the slogan YOLO. They always say YOLO. For those of y'all that don't know what YOLO means it's an abbreviation for you only live once. I want to tell everybody that that's false. That's totally false. The message is you live every single day that you wake up. You die once. You understand? So receive that message. YOLO. You only live once. It's totally false. You live every day that you wake up and be able to start new. But once you gone, you gone. So let's change that narrative.
Shout out to everybody tuning in tonight. Shout out to my family. Love y'all. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, and my son. Happy birthday, little Ralphie.
Happy birthday. Birthday.
You are giving me more gray hairs than
Happy
your
birthday,
sister.
Ralphie.
But I love you. I'm proud of you. For the young man, he wants to be a cop and a firefighter. So I have to respect him. So
I could only match his energy by saying happy birthday on air, on camera. For the simple fact you did.
And you got to watch that. You got to watch that little video earlier. It's great. It's
I'm gonna do it for you.
5-second video.
I'm gonna do it for you, man.
Again, shout out to Hamilton Radio for giving me this platform. Shout out to Ruben, Gino, and Monk. Shout out to all the other shows. Shout out to the Hamilton Council, man. Hamilton Council, doing a job, a yeoman's job, man, during a pandemic, and still meeting, still keeping it real, keeping it sincere and from the heart. I look forward to working with y'all. If you're watching, thank you for receiving my message. Thank you for receiving my emails. Thank you for allowing my voice to be heard. That's number one and foremost. Thank you for allowing my voice to be heard. That's huge. God bless you all. Like I said, you don't live once, you live every day.
Thanks.
But get up every day and live it like it's your last day.
Find your purpose. Man.
Find your purpose. Be one with yourself and with others. We're on borrowed time. You
just said it all. You're on limited time, so you only have a certain amount of time to find your purpose. That's how you live to the fullest.
It took me almost 20 years to find it, but I found it. It took me.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. And I'm not saying that I didn't have purpose, but you guys get it. Shout out to everybody. Peace. Shout out to him. Shout out to my boy, Billy the Kid, man. An insane, a great comedian. Not only he'll make you laugh, he'll drop jewels and zingers, and I mean, one of the deepest guys I know. Shout out to you, man. I'm Ralphie Rotten, also known as DJ Noise. You'll catch me soon coming on YouTube. You'll catch him soon doing shows on YouTube as well. We're not, we're slowly transitioning to our next journey. We're not gonna leave this yet. but we're gonna grow our thing, and you're gonna see him and me bring some stuff to YouTube as well. Shout out to everybody. Peace. We're Freestyle Freaks, and we're out.